Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is, as you heard Gerald talk about, we're going to talk about land banking. And so we are familiar with the four ways to earn income. And many of us have seen Robert Kiyosaki and are familiar with the cash flow quadrant. Tonight we're going to focus on the I of that quadrant. And so what I want you to understand as we go into this land banking, so you understand what, how, why, and the impact it can have. I want you to understand you can be in the E quadrant, the S quadrant, or the B quadrant. It doesn't matter where you are right now, but the information I'm going to share with you right now, you can still take advantage of it today. And that's what's so powerful. Many of us didn't realize that it's even available, let alone that we could actually take advantage of it. And you'll see what wealthy people have been doing for years and years and years. So going forward, let me show you that. Let me do this one thing, and then we'll get going here. All right, so let's talk about Wealth Max and our wealth generation education strategies. This is where you get your money making money for you. So you get the unlimited consultations with real wealth experts. These are professional analysis to develop the best wealth plan for you and your family. We talked about a couple weeks ago, self-banking. That's a private reserve account, and it's the best way to save, grow, and protect your money tax-free with no risk of loss. So that's one of the key elements that they work with. And then tonight we're talking about land banking, and that's real estate investing. That's buying land for 20 to 40% below market value. And we now add a caveat there without even having to write a check for it. That's powerful. So these are the same strategies used by the wealthy, and that's what we want you to clearly understand tonight. So land banking is for true asset diversification. Now, Will Rogers said, don't wait to buy land and wait. Okay, so and that's what we're talking about. So how do you become a landowner? What is land banking? It's one of the safest ways to grow your money. You can buy at an average of 20 to 40% below market value. You're buying segments instead of having to buy it all in terms of the land, and you invest like the wealthy. See, one of the things that happens is, why should I invest in land? Well, because they stopped making it a long time ago, and it can become a tremendous asset. I'm going to show you why. It's something where you don't have to risk your future with bad investments. You can absolutely buy land. So why buy land? Well, number one, it's in high demand. And see, basic supply and demand makes California real estate, and that's where the land we're talking about is right now, California real estate market, the most aggressive in the nation. Of all the land in California, 82% is protected wild land, and literally will never be developed, and 10% is already developed. That only leaves 8% available for farming and development. Then the other reason why you buy land is for performance. On average, people are realizing double-digit annual returns. MWR Financial's experts have studied over 9,000 property sales over the last 17 years, and trends continue to predict, consistent growth. It's also diversification that holds its value. See, the stock market has its shares of ups and downs, and we all know the dangers that can ensure when you don't diversify. When you add land to your portfolio, you're adding a tangible asset that always has value. See, it's real estate protected by a deed historically proven to be stable and sustainable investment. The other reason why you want to buy land is because you want to buy low and sell high. See, the key to growing wealth is in terms of investment property is bought with low money, so you're buying low, and then you later sell it for exponentially more. So when you choose an investment that adheres to this basic principle, peace of mind follows. You're not worrying because you know you have security. Now, one of the things that happens, why buy land? Well, its economic projections predict more growth. California maintains its title as the world's 8th largest economy. Southern California alone has moved up to rank number 16th in the world's largest economy. The state of California continues to project growth in both population and economy. More growth means higher demand. Multi-millionaires are doing something right. If so, they say if you want to be successful, find out what the successful people are doing and doing exactly what they do. Well, listen to this. Multi-millionaires, this is what they're doing. They've been buying land. They've been land banking forever. See, but most individuals can only imagine purchasing land in such volumes like a Ted Turner or a Stan Kroenke who owns the Rams, who's going to the Super Bowl. So the owner of the Rams going to the Super Bowl land banks. So, but like them, we locate properties in the path of growth, and we make them available to you just like that. And you're in the game doing what they do. That's what our wealth experts do. They absolutely locate the growth and let you buy the segment so you don't have to try to buy the whole thing. Now, less worry about economic volatility is another reason to buy land. Most of our land parcels are held for 7 to 10 years before being sold for profit. Knowing you need to wait for growth actually means less worrying about the current market. That means less time wondering, should I sell now or not? Okay. Then finally, why do you want to buy land? Because land creates generational wealth. See, now think about this. Do you worry about how your estate will be distributed or that your loved ones will go through their inheritance too quickly? Land is a sustainable legacy plan. It isn't liquid, making it harder for beneficiaries to spend too quickly, and more than likely it will grow in value. We know where growth will happen. See, extensive studies have been done and are being conducted to predict what areas will boom next. Just ask the big box retailers because they know where it's going to go. For example, early growth indicators include construction of new schools, fire stations, and churches. See, land on the fringe of these areas is often next to develop. Land can also be bought without a loan. Remember when I said you can buy land without writing a check for it? You can actually buy the land with an existing IRA or 401k without any additional funds needed and with no tax consequences. And the MWR experts will handle the whole process for you, of course. And you can buy land with cash too. You know, that's always available as well. So let's talk about why they pick California. Well, number one, it's the largest population in the U.S. with nearly 40 million people and growing. And I think after this winter storm that's going through, we're going to get, this is why we keep getting more and more people, because I won't even tell you what the weather has been like here in Southern California. California is adding in excess of one new city the size of Bakersfield, which is over 325,000 people, to over 400,000 people every year. The population projected is to reach 50 million by the year 2030. Eighth largest economy in the world with a 1.89 trillion GDP, just behind Italy and ahead of Brazil and Spain. There's limited availability of unusable land. That's what you see here. And this is the area that it's focused on, because the ocean is there and there's only the mountains are here, so the flat land is right here that's buildable. So now watch this. How land banking works. Listen to how it works. Land in the path of growth is where it all begins. Number one, you want to acquire select pre-developed land in the path of a major metropolitan center. The number two, you want to wait for its value to mature. The number three, you want to sell it for a significant profit in the future. Now, something that's going to have an impact on Southern California land and where this land banking is happening is that in Los Angeles, the 2028 Olympics is coming to Los Angeles. That's going to bring with it an $11.2 billion economic boom. So I want you to realize and recognize that there's some major things happening here. See, land banking, and this is when you want to find out, is it right for you? So land banking is right for you if you are looking for a long-term stable investment. It's also right for you if you're recovering from a stock market loss. It's also right for you if you're wanting an investment you can understand, or you're needing peace of mind about retirement, or you're tired of worrying about economic volatility, or you're worried about how your estate will be distributed, or you are someone without a sustainable legacy plan, or you're holding $40,000 or more in a qualified account, a portfolio account, or you have it in cash. That's the way you know that land banking is right for you. Now, how can you buy land too? Well, you can do it with cash. We talked about that. But you can also do it with your retirement accounts. Your traditional IRAs or self-directed IRAs. You know, your IRAs, your Roth IRAs, your SEP IRAs, simple IRAs, your 401k, 403b, defined benefits account. You have other funding sources like trust, ESAs, the 529 plan, or 1031 exchanges. So there's a myriad of ways that you can buy land without having to actually physically write a check for it or give up your cash for it necessarily. So what happens is you want to schedule a consultation so you can talk with the experts and then see what it is and then see where it may fit in for you. People have been blown away that they literally got involved with MWR Financial. Most to make more money on top of what they're currently doing. Some, they looked at it as, okay, if I can make a little extra money, that'd be great, but I also want to improve my credit, or I want to get out of debt, or I want to increase my take-home pay, and that's all they thought it was going to be. But then when they found out that not only can they get a PRA, but they had the ability to buy land, and they were able to diversify their portfolio, they have it in the path of growth, and they're like, well, my goodness, I'm already buying it for 20 to 40% below market, and we only sell when we know we're going to make a substantial profit. This is fantastic, and I didn't even have to write a check for it. That is one of the powerful places and why MWR Financial is so special. Now, have you ever said, if I had known then what I know now, life would be different today? See, we've all said that, so we don't want you to say, oh, man, had I known I would have bought that California real estate. If I'd have known they were going to have 50 million people living there, if I'd have known that they're building a city of 300,000 people or more every single year, man, and then I'm on the fringes of that, and I own that land that used to be flat, nothing. Maybe it was just a bunch of orange groves or something like that, and then now people live here, or they work here. This is great, and I own that land, and I was able to sell it for a huge profit. That's the difference, and now you know. And we always say, if you know better, you'll do better. So what is your 10-year vision? Where are you going to be in the next 10 years? I want you to understand, dreams don't work unless you do. So that's all we have to do is put it to work. So this is one of the areas. We focus right on the I quadrant, the investment quadrant, and that's one of the areas of how you can make money. So I don't care if you're starting as an E and becoming an S with MWR Financial, or you go from S and or E and then become a big business owner with the B side, but we can take care of the I side right away. Some of you are sitting there right now tonight and didn't even realize it, and now you can take advantage of it. That's the power of what we do. So I truly believe that if the promise is made clear, the price you pay to get there is easy. And at MWR Financial, all you have to do is go out and dream big, aim high, and you'll have a chance to live free. And that's what we all want, is that freedom to do what we want, when we want, where we want, for however long we want, and have the things that we want to have. So I am so super excited about what's happening here at MWR Financial, and the time to act is now. See, take control of your financial future today, because that's what so many people are doing. That's why we begin to sweep the nation, and as you do that, as you move from that E to the S to the B to the I, as you do that, we not only will see you at the top and see you on the beaches of the world, but we'll also see you at the bank. And I want you to know something. At the MWR Financial Bank, they won't just count our money. They'll weigh it. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening. I'm going to say goodbye for now.